Up next on the Rural Report, our women's soccer team takes home their first OVC Championship title after only playing at the Division I level for 3 years.
And Anna Johnson, a forward on the women's soccer team, sits down to discuss how she got into soccer, her season, and the team's historic OVC win.
And we'll be taking a look at the upcoming basketball tournament that our men will be competing in. All that and more ahead on the Rural Report. Welcome to the Rural Report. I'm Elizabeth Boaz.
And I'm James Zugmeyer.
The women's OVC final was a nail-biter with Morehead State holding a 2-0 lead after the first 45 minutes of play. Lindenwood got off to a rough start with the first goal being an own goal. Then 12 minutes later, Morehead earning their first goal of the game, putting Lindenwood behind 2 until half. This was a goalie's game where both stepped up large to the plate, ready to compete. In the end, it was Lindenwood goalie Caroline Ritter who not only had more saves on goal, but who didn't falter when the Lions were down and out. Bouncing back after half, Lindenwood came out strong, scoring a goal just several minutes in by star player Mackenzie Compton. Through more brutal back-and-forth play between the evenly matched teams, Lindenwood eventually got strong possession. Making something out of it, Anna Johnson scored LU's second goal of the game, assisted by Georgia Perdalos, to tie up the championship game 2-2. But Morehead wasn't showing any signs that they were done. Both teams grueling to get the lead. In the end, Morehead's defense grew tired, exhausted by Lindenwood's stellar footwork and unparalleled team chemistry. Morehead's sloppy defense resulted in fouling Lindenwood in the box, giving the Lions a penalty kick with just minutes left in the game. Tasneem Dazarovic stepped up, nailing her PK shot into the left-hand side of the goal for the first time in the game. The Lions now lead with only minutes left on the clock. Holding Morehead's offense off for the remainder of the game, Lindenwood women's soccer takes home their first OVC Championship title.
Well done, ladies. Also during the weekend, Lindenwood took on their arch rival and the 6th-ranked team in the FCS in Southeast Missouri State in the game ball brawl. The game kicked off in front of a season high of 5,000 fans at Hunter Stadium, in a game many people expected SEMO to run away with. But on the Redhawks' first possession, running back Peyton Brown would put the ball on the ground, and Lindenwood would fall on it, setting up great field position for their first drive. But on that drive, though, they would go 3 and out, forcing a field goal attempt that'd be blocked by the defense and would be returned to Lindenwood's 45 by SEMO's Ty Leonard. Both teams would trade punts for most of the rest of the first quarter, mainly due to the poor weather, until SEMO started driving as quarterback Paxton DeLaurent would find Dorian Anderson for a big gain, and on the next play, he'd sling it to Tristan Smith to get them within field goal range. And they would kick that field goal to start off the second quarter before Lindenwood quarterback Nate Glantz would roll to his right and throw a pick to SEMO's Kalani Riddick. And at that point, it looked like the Redhawks had all of the momentum, but the rainy weather continued to slow down SEMO's offense, and Lindenwood would get the ball back quickly as Nate Glantz would find his favorite receiver, Jeff Caldwell, for back-to-back big gains, including this 45-yarder. And Caldwell was visibly shaken up on the play beforehand, but you couldn't see it here as he was able to make the catch and get the yak afterwards. Then, a few plays later, Lindenwood would look to the back of the end zone and find Drew Krobath to give them the first lead of the game. But it wouldn't be long lasted as SEMO would be able to answer back with a field goal on their next possession. Later in the second quarter, running back Steve Hall would rumble for a 60-yard play. Great blocking from the offensive line, and a huge hole would take it all the way down to the 8-yard line. And then at the end of the drive, they'd dial up a pop pass to Jeff Caldwell, and he would put it in the end zone to give the Lions a 14-6 lead heading into half. Both teams would continue on their punting ways until Nate Glantz would fake a handoff and mosey into the end zone, and he gets us with a classic celebration as he's done all season long. But a few drives later, the Redhawks were able to get some momentum back as McCoy Casey would strip Glantz and set up SEMO with great field position, and they would not squander it as on the next play, DeLaurent would deliver a dime to Smith, and right after that, he would take it in himself into the end zone after a great push from one of his linemen. They would go for 2, but they would be unsuccessful, and with them running out of time, that the punt from the back of their end zone, and Taylon Blaylock would return it for the Lions to put him within field goal range, which they would end up kicking off the leg of Logan Seibert, taking a 24-12 lead. And at the end of the game, DeLaurent would deliver his final pass of the day, but it would end up in the hands of Lindenwood's Eric Gant, and the celebration would begin. The players were going crazy, the coaches were loving it, and the fans that sat in the rain the entire time felt justified for their decision. It was a monsoon out there, it was cold, it was windy, But at the end of the day, nobody cared, especially not the coach, as he got even more wet after the Gatorade bath. But Lindenwood, for the first time in their history, got to hoist up the Game Ball Brawl trophy. And overall, the game went as well as they could ask for. They got it done on the ground, outgained their opponent, didn't turn over the ball a lot, and held onto the ball for 40 minutes of the game.
The Redhawks and Lions have been rivals for the past few years. Fighting for that Game Ball Brawl trophy, our Carmen Lumpkins takes a look at the history of this rivalry.
When Lindenwood joined the Ohio Valley Conference 2 years ago, they would be just 130 miles away from SEMO, a school that has been in the OVC since 1991. The close proximity of these two schools naturally led to a rivalry. The rivalry was named the Game Ball Brawl, sponsored by MRV Banks, and the winners get to hold up the trophy at the end of the game. For the first two meets, the trophy went home with SEMO in Cape Girardeau. The first match in 2022, Lindenwood hosted SEMO at Hunter Stadium. SEMO got going early on in the game and kept the lead over Lindenwood, scoring 49 points by the end of the night and holding Lindenwood to 28. The next time the teams would meet would be at SEMO in 2023. A tough match for Lindenwood early on in their season, the teams both only playing one game prior to the Game Ball Brawl. In that game, the Lions would not find the end zone until the fourth quarter when quarterback Cole Duggar would score Lindenwood's only point on the night. SEMO having 17 points in the first quarter and 21 in the second, they would go on to beat Lindenwood 7-45 and keep possession of the Game Ball Brawl trophy. This past weekend, marking their third meet, would change the course of the rivalry. Lindenwood winning 24-12 over SEMO, they get their first win in the Game Ball Brawl. And the best part, Lindenwood gets to hoist up the trophy for the first time.
I got so many emotions going through my head right now. This is a huge win. It's our, I always said, when we first started this, came into this league and came into Division I and this rivalry game, we've said all along it's not a rival until we win one.
Continuing tradition, Lindenwood burns their logo into the wood for their conference win. The Game Ball Brawl trophy will stay in St. Charles this year with the Lions. But as the rivalry continues and heats up after the upset game for SEMO, the Redhawks will compete for the trophy back next year while the Lions will be competing to hold on to it.
Coming up next, we sit down with Anna Johnson, a forward on the Lions women's soccer team. We'll hear from Anna about her impressive season and how it felt to win the first OVC Championship in Lindenwood history.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Welcome back to the Roar Report. Anna Johnson is one of the top forwards for our women's soccer team. The sophomore from Oswego, Illinois, is in her second season with the Lions, where she has filled a very important role in this turnaround season. Anna has been a key component in the women's team, clinching the Ohio Valley Conference title, where she started in 16 games, recorded 6 goals and 3 assists, making her the second highest scorer on the team. Anna also notched a goal and an assist in the Ohio Valley Conference Championship game, propelling the Lions to a 3-2 victory and their first OVC title in program history. Anna Johnson is here with our very own Jack Gardner to talk about this young women's team, how they've been able to come together as a family, as well as the role her coaches played in helping to secure this historic win.
Thank you, Anna, for joining us today. We're excited to have you talk with you today. I can tell you're super happy right now. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. This Tuesday is probably one of my best Tuesdays so far. So
I can tell when you walked in the door, you had a smile on your face. Congratulations on winning the OVC Championship for the first time in school history.
Thank you.
What was that feeling like?
Cloud 9, basically. They say Cloud 9 kind of cliche, but I'm not going to lie. It was definitely probably one of the best feelings I've had. I was telling my teammates, I haven't felt this way about soccer specifically, which is something I do love so much, and I haven't felt that way since before coming to Lindenwood. So it was great to be able to do that with my teammates, who were all really close. So my best friends and my teammates, and it was awesome. So it was just great.
That's awesome. The team is really young this year.
Yeah,
There's 17 out of the 25 girls are freshmen and sophomore.
Yeah.
And you guys have phenomenal chemistry. every time I've seen a game, it's phenomenal chemistry. You guys are like on the same page always. How are you able to build that so fast?
I think it all started last spring. I think everyone knows it's no secret. We had a rough year last year. And January 1st hit and we were like, okay, this is gonna change. We spent so much time doing culture revamping. Throughout the whole spring, we'd have meetings all the time with the group. And that was half of what we have today. So as soon as the freshmen arrived in July, we instilled it right away. We do a lot of team bonding. We have families within our team, so I feel like that helps a lot. And then the personalities of the team, you can't teach that, and it was great. So everyone completely committed to what we were trying to do. Culturally, I think that was a huge part of who we are. And I think even if we play a team that skill level we match, I think we overpass them with our chemistry that we have. So it's awesome to see, especially being so young. Like, I was kind of nervous even coming in. Like, we have this big group that's already been here, a big group coming in. So, but we meshed perfectly, so it was great.
That's awesome. What were some of the team bonding things you guys would do to get closer?
Well, we went to Chicken and Pickle for one of them. Me and then a couple of my teammates do the ambassador program through them. Okay. So we've been able to use that, and we've kind of gone and done that. So that was really nice because there's just a bunch of stuff to do, and everyone can kind of get to know each other. And then we do a volunteer opportunity in the beginning of the year where we go to an elementary school and kind of hang out with little kids and stuff. So that was fun. And then a lot of just stuff here on campus, dinners at the teammates' house, and then just games, just hanging out together, which is really nice because it's not forced. So
right.
Yeah.
It's that team chemistry that's just it's that natural connection.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you always played soccer?
I have always played soccer, but I also played basketball. So definitely growing up, I was always basically a two-sport athlete. My family really prioritizes that, just being able to take a break from one and kind of using your different muscles, different mindset kind of. So I honestly think that helped a lot with soccer, getting to play basketball. So yeah, but soccer since I was 3. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So since you could walk,
basically my whole life, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned your family. You have a giant family.
Yes, yeah.
You're one of 5?
Yeah. Yeah, 5 girls.
5 girls?
Yeah.
Okay. Was sports something you guys all did together kind of thing, or was it like your thing or your sister's thing?
Yeah, I would say my parents definitely pushed sports. They both played college soccer, so definitely soccer was a big deal for them.
To the genes.
Yeah, and then my extended family, my grandparents and my aunt, they all played basketball, so I feel like those two kind of were no-brainers. We have to play soccer and basketball. And then yeah, one of my sisters, she plays the flute now, so she kind of went a different route, but other than that, we all play soccer. We all play basketball right now too, so, well, not me anymore, but yeah, so yeah.
Was there any thought to play basketball in college, or was it just soccer?
I did think about it. My grandparents definitely, they love basketball. They'll tell me without a doubt that they would rather have me play basketball, but they're really proud of me playing soccer, but I definitely considered it just because it's something that was a part of my life forever. So it was kind of weird to just transition to just soccer, but honestly, as soon as I came here and I met the coaching staff and was like, okay, I want to play soccer at the Division I level and kind of focus on that. So
okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned Coach Musso. You guys were on the Lions Den a few weeks ago, and I could hear in his voice the confidence he had in you guys.
Yes.
Constantly. How important is it to have a coach with that much confidence in you, not just you, but the whole team?
Yeah, it's so great. Like, not only having teammates that support you, but a coaching staff that believes in every single one of you, I think, is so important, even to the chemistry. I feel like if you're not connected to your coaching staff, like, it's kind of the players against the coaches, where we're all one big happy family almost. And we even told him this year, his pep talks before the game, definitely top tier. The pep talks before and halftime speeches have been really outstanding this year. So I think that kind of has helped a lot too. And just knowing that you have someone so important, not only on the team, but in the entire Lindenwood community supporting you is, I think, kind of instills a lot of confidence in ourselves as well. So
that definitely makes things a lot better when you have that confidence.
Yeah.
You talked about playing in high school. You set the single season goal record and the all-time goals record in your high school.
Yeah.
And you were second in the team in goals, and you were tied at one point, even going into the last game of the regular season. How important are those individual stats to you?
They're definitely something that you have in the back of your mind. Just, you can't really focus and dwell too much on them. Like, even last year, I came from high school scoring a lot, and that was definitely a big role that I had on my team, but last year we didn't score as much. So I think it's kind of important to just focus on being the best version of yourself while you're playing on the field, and then kind of keeping the stats in the back of your mind, because that is something that kind of shows your accomplishments, I think. But I do think that what you leave out on the field is just as important as those individual stats. So it is cool though to have and say like, oh, I did this and this, but yeah.
I have more goals than anybody else ever in my high school.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you somebody that tells people about your records, or do you kind of keep those to yourself?
I definitely do kind of keep it under wraps. Not under, but like if I'm asked about it, I'll say like, oh yeah, I did. It was pretty cool, but I don't know. It's something I am very proud of that I did, but also my focus is kind of here now. So like what I did back then, it's not that it doesn't matter, it's just more like something that I did. We're here, I'm doing what I'm doing now. So it's definitely, I think when I get older, I might flex on everyone a little more just as an adult. But yeah.
How did that translate when you moved over to play in Division I, since you were an amazing goal scorer? You said you had how many goals?
Last year I only had 2.
In high school? How many did you have in high school?
Oh, I had 117.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You had a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that translate over, your play style translate over to Division I?
I would definitely say physicality and speed of the game was a big change. I definitely was not used to that. My first game that we had, it was an exhibition, and it was against Northern Illinois University, and this girl, like senior center back, just comes and plows me over, and I was like, okay, I'm here. Like, I'm here and ready to play.
Coming up on the Roar Report, we'll preview what's ahead for the Lions.
Are you ready for college? I get it, it's a big decision. But I think Lindenwood University can make your choice a whole lot easier. Let's start with over $30 million in scholarships and grants to make college affordable, and over 30,000 alumni working near campus to make the job hunt easier. And because we're local, enjoy the perks of campus life and stay close to enjoy home cooking. So, what do you say? Ready to awaken that lion within?
Welcome back to the Roar Report. The Lions women's volleyball team is heading to Arkansas next week on the 19th and 20th for 2 matches against Little Rock. Lindenwood will finish off their regular season against the Trojans before the start of the OVC Championships. Their current record against Little Rock is 3-1. The last time the Lions faced off against the Trojans, they lost 2-3 in a shocking comeback for the Trojans, a loss the Lions are surely looking to avenge next week. Match time is at 6 p.m.
And the Lindenwood men's basketball team is playing in the Urban Bennett Invitational, which runs through the 17th of November. Lindenwood is looking to make a name for themselves early on this season by establishing dominance in this tournament. So far, Lindenwood has been playing strong, especially against the University of Health, Science, and Pharmacy in St. Louis with a blowout of 98-30. This tournament is definitely one to keep an eye on. Game start for the Lions is 6 p.m. on the 15th and noon on the 17th.
That's it for the Roar Report. I'm Elizabeth Boaz.
And I'm James Zugmeyer. Remember to go out and support our Lions.